tables, mind if we share yours? Before we could respond, Serena seated herself right beside me, unbothered. Stephanie's eyes widened in shock. Without hesitation, she got up and switched places with her. What are you thinking? Sitting me next to your first love? How's that supposed to work? Now seated across from me, Serena looked slightly annoyed, as if waiting for me to say something. Avoiding her gaze, I handed the menu to Cyril. Here, Cyril, go ahead and order. My sister and I have already decided on what we want. He took the menu with a casual smile. Albion, your cooking is incredible. It's so much better than anything you can get in a restaurant. His comment confirmed what I'd suspected. Serena had asked me to cook for him, not herself. Even so, I only smiled faintly and didn't respond. Stephanie, with a mix of pride and teasing, chimed in. Oh, you wouldn't believe it, he got it in his head to take cooking classes recently. He was the only guy in the class, but he stuck with it anyway. I thought he'd give up out of embarrassment. But nope, now he's great in the kitchen and outside of it. Whoever becomes his future girlfriend is going to be so spoiled. Serena had been smiling faintly, but her expression shifted at that comment. Her smile thinned, and she took a slow sip of tea. Calmly, she asked, Albion, are you thinking about dating now? I looked at her, confused by the sudden question. Recalling her words from the other day, I nodded slightly. I'm 26 now. It's about time I started thinking about that. If you know anyone suitable, Serena, feel free to introduce them to me. You're finally coming around. As Stephanie finished speaking, Serena's lips pressed into a tight line, her eyes locked onto mine as if searching for something in my expression. Cyril, noticing the change in her mood, laughed lightly. Albion, you're lucky to have such a caring sister. I'm honestly jealous. But, you know, I think Serena's a great match for you. What do you think? Don't say things like that. Serena cut in sharply, her brows furrowing. Though her tone carried a hint of reprimand, her expression was more resigned than angry. I nodded in agreement. Exactly. I only see Serena as a sister. Please don't make jokes like that, Cyril. I paused, then added, besides, I think you and Serena make a better pair. The smile vanished from her face in an instant, replaced by a thin layer of anger. She let out a short, humorless laugh. Is that so? Then how about I introduce someone to you? Would you take the time to meet her? Of course, thanks in advance, Serena. My smile was bright and I answered without hesitation. For the next few days, I didn't reach out to Serena and she didn't contact me either. Instead, it was Cyril who came to find us. When he arrived, Stephanie and I were both at my place. What do you need? Stephanie asked, cutting straight to the point. He hesitated for a moment, glancing at me awkwardly before speaking. Stephanie, you know how Serena and I grew up together. We were each other's first love. Even though we've broken up and gotten back together a few times, there's still something between us. Pausing for a second, he continued, I was wrong to break up with her during our last fight. This time, I want to make things right. I want to confess to her and ask her to get back together. Can you two help me out? If I hadn't experienced what I did in my previous life, I might have laughed in his face and told him outright that Serena loved me, not him, and she would never agree to take him back, so just gave up. But because I had lived through it, I knew the truth. Deep down, Serena still cared for him. They were meant to be together. Of course. Hearing that, a confident smile spread across Cyril's face. When he looked at me, there was a glint of triumph in his eyes. But I didn't think much of it and brushed it aside. 2 days later, Stephanie and Serena's close friends worked out the details for the confession. They decided that the perfect setting would be a countryside trip to watch a fire dancing performance. After all, they said, true feelings reveal themselves in moments of excitement and chaos. When we arrived at the venue, the crowd was massive. Since I wasn't a fan of packed spaces, I planned to wait